Hi, how are you? Well, it's time to have a full review of Doctor Strange. So let's get started. I have gathered some photos from a link that I'll put it in down in the description below, and you can check it out. First, we have um, the normal life of Doctor Strange, Doctor Stephen Strange. Um, and he's a neurosurgeon. He's really professional and good at his work. Okay, so we can see that Doctor Strange having his own elegant life, that some sort of luxury life, in sort of ways like even Tony Stark. Um, expensive things, luxury living, that elegant apartment in New York City, and that tuxedo and that bow tie. So, I think that Benedict Cumberbatch and Rachel McAdams, they have done a good job in acting as doctors. And I know that they have done some work practicing things that, well, of course there are some audiences there that they're a doctor and they know things, so they had to learn how these things work. And then after the car crash, we can see his he thinks that his life is sort of shut down, it's the end. He can't do this anymore, he can't live like this. But of course he can be a professor or anything, but he doesn't like to be. He wants to show off in the surgeries, things like that, and it's not gonna work for him. So that's why he's so disappointed in life, and he just can't get along with this sort of life. Can't work with his hands, so he's just crashed down. We all know he will spend all his money to go to a place which his name is Kamar-Taj, and it's interesting, the places they have gone, and the filming here is pretty interesting. It's not bad. Let's not forget that we have Mads Mikkelsen as the baddie here. He's playing Caecilius, and I think he's done a good job. And if you ask me, when you are casting such great actors and actresses like Mads Mikkelsen as the bad guy, you have to keep that as an advantage. I personally wanted more Caecilius, Mads Mikkelsen. I wanted to see him more. I really liked him, and there was that scene when Doctor Strange saw him, and Caecilius was talking about the dimension with no time, and that tear on his face, that first of all the makeup was perfect, and then he was crying, tears falling down from his eyes. It was really good job by Mads Mikkelsen. I know he's a great actor, and I really like him. Okay, so this is one of the first scenes. We get to see the Ancient One. This is real awesome, and look at the way of the fighting here. It's brilliant, and the visual effects, it's really awesome. I'm not one of those who predicts the Oscar nominees or winners, but I can say that in the section of the visual effects for the Oscar for this year, I think Doctor Strange will be nominated. This is my opinion, because it's they've done a pretty good job here. This is when for the first time Doctor Strange and the Ancient One got to see each other, and it's funny. Look at the photo. Look at the way Tilda Swinton is looking at Benedict Cumberbatch, and look at the way she looks. This is the art of acting. She looks at him like you don't know anything. You have no idea about this world. It's beautiful. It's really great. This is a pretty good pic from the Ancient One. I like it. I like the way Tilda Swinton is looking at the camera. But one of the important things in movies, not just in this movie, is the costume designing. Now, as much as I love Doctor Strange, I really I don't think the costume of the Doctor Strange is done really well. It's so great. It's good, but it's not that awesome. But the Ancient One, especially this costume, you can see that shades of dark blue, dark purple, and as you know, purple is some sort of a mysterious color. So using purple in the costume of the Ancient One, I think it's pretty wise, because she's the Ancient One. You don't know anything about her, and you're not supposed to know, and she's mysterious. So the choosing of the color purple it's really good. One of the most breathtaking scenes is the scene that well, everyone was waiting to see it, and it's the scene that the Ancient One puts her hand on the forehead and says, "Open your eyes," and that scene is breathtaking. Visually, it's beautiful and stunning. I just when I was looking at the movie, I was holding my breath. I couldn't breathe. It was really fantastic, really good, really awesome, and this is one of the reasons that this movie may be nominated for the best visual effects, in my opinion. The most important things about the visual effects of this movie is that for showing the magic, they haven't just used some lines and things like bolt, you know. It's not like that. The magic has shape. You can sort of see that, and it's such stunning image of those shapes and those mysterious shapes that you cannot imagine. they have tried to show it not in a very simple way, but in a way that it's beautiful and you know, not very simple, but a bit mysterious, and maybe sometimes even difficult to understand. But after concentrating, you can get it and understand that, and it's beautiful. It's really good. One of the sets that I really liked so much was the library. It was designed pretty well and I liked it so much. It was mysterious, sort of, but the special books that were for the ancient one, I think that was supposed to be, you know, more protected. I mean, it's just a chain, you know, it's not enough. If that is so important, then why is it just there with a chain where anyone can take it? The whole design, it's pretty good, not that bad. And the library is the first place we see Wong, played by Benedict Wong. You see that? They have done a pretty good job even in casting. They have two Benedicts there, and the Benedict Wong playing the character Wong. It's really good, and I think choosing this actor for this character is pretty wise. One of the other things that I liked about this movie was the dialogues between the characters, especially between Doctor Strange and Wong. When they first meet and Wong says his name Wong, and Doctor Strange is like, just Wong, like Adele. I really liked that joke. It was pretty fun, and yeah, it was cool. So this is the scene when he grabs the book, and then he grabs the Eye of Agamotto, and he tries to control the time. It's a pretty good scene, and look at the book. It's really good designed, and the details. I really like the details of the book and the Eye of Agamotto. I really like it. So this is the first time when Doctor controls time, and when he opens the Eye of Agamotto, it's really interesting. I mean, it's amazing. I really love that scene. It's so cool, and it's really magical. And the time when he forwards and backwards, the apple, you know, it was cool. I really love it. When he turns back the time and those two pages, missing pages, which at the first of the movie Caecilius took them, and it was really interesting, and he proved to Mordo and Wong that he is really good at magic. Now, after Caecilius and his gang uh, attack the London Sanctum Sanctorium, after that there's an explosion, and the doctor is in the New York Sanctum Sanctorium. As after that, there's a scene when we can have some sort of tour in the New York Sanctorium, and it's pretty cool because you gotta see what's in there and what's going on. You gotta know, know better the place, and I kind of liked it because we should know what's going on in a place. We have to have a background. There are lots of fight scenes in this movie, and one of them, one of the most beautiful of them, is the New York fight scene, which again, because this movie, I don't say it's all about visuals, but it's pretty much about the visuals. It's beautiful and stunning, and there are 2 points that I have to say about it, and one is that in one of the scenes you get to see the Avengers Tower, which you can see in sometimes in the movie. It's not just one time or in one shot. There are some shots that you get to see the Avengers Tower. And there's another thing that there are some people or critics out there that keep saying that it's so similar to the Inception. Well, I have to say, when I first saw the first teaser trailer of the movie, I thought like that as well. But after you see the movie, it's not like that anymore. It's not like Inception. There are two different movies. The subject is a whole lot different. The scene is different. You can't compare these scenes to each other and these two movies to each other. It's wrong, and we can't do that. One of the things that happens in the New York fight scene is where the Ancient One dies. And I have to say that the way she dies and the way she is defeated is some sort of disappointing, because at the first of the movie you get to see her fighting. She's really strong, she's tough, and she's really good at fighting. But at that scene when she's fighting, she is not that person, that character in the first of the movie anymore. I think she's changed. The way she fights, it's not like that. It's not that strong enough. Well, the expectations are high at this level and at this scene of the Ancient One, because she's really, she's the Ancient One. She knows so many things. She knows many ways to fight. She's professional. She's awesome. She's perfect. But why does she die like that? But on the other hand, there's that scene when the Ancient One's soul and the Doctor's soul are talking in the hospital, and it's that time when we all know that the Ancient One is dying. The dialogues between them, it's emotionally heartbreaking. I really loved it, and I couldn't get enough of that. And if you pay more attention on the dialogues, you will turn back to yourself and think about your life. Each moment and second of your life, that counts, and it's important. The dialogue which I really loved were two dialogues that I really enjoyed it. It's the scene that the Ancient One says to Doctor that arrogance and fear still keep you from learning the simplest and most significant lesson of all. And the Doctor says, which is? The Ancient One says, it's not about you. And then we have that beautiful look on Benedict Cumberbatch's face. And we can have that beautiful art of acting, which I told you before, on his face. It's beautiful, it's emotional. And then there's another dialogue that doctor says that I'm not ready, and the Ancient One responds, no one ever is. We don't get to choose our time. Death is what gives life meaning. To know your days are numbered and your time is short. You'd think after all this time I'd be ready, but look at me, stretching one moment out into 1,000, just so that I can watch the snow. It's beautiful. I really love this scene, and it at that moment I had tears in my eyes and I started to cry. It was beautiful. I really loved it. Okay, so there's this character I really want to talk about it, and it's Christine Palmer, which is played by Rachel McAdams. There are lots of people out there, and there are lots of critics out there who say that, this is one of those useless girlfriends. In my opinion, it's not like that, because first of all, she is not Doctor Strange's girlfriend, and she's not anyone's girlfriend. Yes, there is some sort of a relationship between them, but it's not, that relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend. No, it's not like that. And she is not useless. I mean, come on, she saved Strange's life. The final fight scene which we have in Hong Kong is also again beautiful, because the doctor turns back the time, and then everything is going back, but they're fighting in the moment. It was absolutely beautiful and breathtaking. It was beautifully designed, and the cinematography and the directing in this scene was beautifully done. The last fight with Dormammu is pretty hilarious, especially when he's keep coming and saying, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. It's funny, and it's also heroic. I think he never gets to defeat Dormammu completely. He tricks Dormammu, because Dormammu is some sort of I won't say God, but something like that, because defeating Dormammu, I think it's sort of impossible. But at the same time, we know that this is the time when he is, some sort of a hero, and he's realizing that he's not that doctor anymore. I mean, not the doctor that saves people's life by just one surgery or a couple of surgeries. It's not that simple anymore. It's not like that. It's changed, and he's becoming the hero to save the world. And it's changed. So I like that changing, and especially when Dormammu says that you will suffer, and he responds that pain is an old friend, and he knows himself that it's not that old time anymore. His life has changed. He is changed, and nothing will be the same anymore. And I kind of like that. And it's the scene that we get to see Dormammu and it's a bit different from the Dormammu that we have seen in the comics. Because in the comics it had some sort of a flame on his head, I guess, and also in the movie I did want to see those flames, which were not here. But it was pretty cool. It wasn't perfect picturing of Dormammu, but it was pretty cool. Well, I think this is the first movie that we have two post-credit scenes. Actually, one mid-credit scene and then one post-credit scene. After we get to see Thor in mid-credit scene, we know that Doctor Strange will, of course, appear in the next Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. And then, after the post-credit scene, the second one, we can fully understand that there will be another Doctor Strange movie. So, if I get it right, we can have 3 other Marvel movies that Doctor Strange will be in it. First is Thor Ragnarok, and then which they confirmed officially is the next Avengers Infinite War, and the next one, which they haven't talked about it yet, is the next Doctor Strange movie, which, if you think about it more, especially right now that it's really huge in box office, we can say that it will be another Doctor Strange movie for sure. One of the things that I really want to talk about is the soundtrack of the movie, which is done pretty well, and it's done by Michael Giacchino, if I pronounce it right. If you take a look at his career and what he's done, you would know that he has won the Oscar for Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures original score for Up, and it was beautiful. And if you take a look at his career in 2016, you would know that he has made the soundtrack of Star Trek Beyond, Doctor Strange, and Rogue One. Good job, blockbusters, big blockbusters of 2016, and I think he's done a pretty good job. I really liked his work in Doctor Strange. And the soundtrack that I loved most in the movie was The Master of the Mystic for the end of credit. It was pretty cool and it's really awesome. I absolutely love with it. As I said before, this movie is really good and I absolutely love it. And by far it's my most favorite Marvel movie up till now. But I have to say that, as I said before, it has some mistakes. And there's one thing that got my attention. It's not that huge, but I gotta say it. Is when the doctor got stabbed. You can see the place where he stabbed and the blood on his costume. But after a couple of scenes, you can't see that anymore. Has he changed? No, we didn't see that. We didn't see that he's changed his costume. But the blood and the place of the stab is not there anymore. So I think they have to pay much more attention on these little things, because I'm not the only one who's paying attention on these little things. But totally, this movie is good, and if I want to give it some sort of score like that, I would rate it 9 out of 10. So this is what I think. I really loved it. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. But also, not every movie is perfect. I think none at all. Okay, so this was my review on Doctor Strange. What do you think about the movie? Write your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you enjoyed it, why don't you subscribe to my channel? Bye!